Welcome back, YouTube. So we're picking up where we left off last time in Frostpunk 2. So we have our exploration team, or colonization team, going out to our first colony. I'm contemplating how to deal with all the problems popping around the city because we just sent off a bunch of people. It doesn't look like it'd be too much of a problem. We have enough resources stockpiled and such that I don't think sending the people off was too much of an issue. I may end up building a lot of these hospitals, so I'd prefer if we're not raising tension per hospital.
Yeah, let's do it. Steward.
You know what? I will grant you an agenda. What is your agenda? Mandatory schooling. And I'll just let that vote go whichever way you want it to go. Good old democracy.
Hear ye, the delegates have spoken. The law is tabled.
I guess that was the event saying, hey, we're going to start protesting, but I managed to calm them down in time. Not settlement heating, so given time, we can set up the minor settlements. The next thing I need to research is I need to research some sort of filtration. This is an adaptation versus progress choice. So I could just choose neutrality here to not piss off either of my major factions. Which is the way I think I'm going to go for the moment. In the long run, it would probably be a better idea to, because I've been going adaptation on this run, so it'd probably be better to go with the adaptation one in the long run. For the short run, we're going to try not to piss the technocrats off. You're all housing, you're all housing. I'd rather get the research place going a little faster, so... Or the hospital working a bit better. The next building I'd like to build, when we can afford to, is that... Oh no, I just started doing the vents. Yeah, started doing the vents. So I gotta wait 13-ish weeks for the vents to come in. Okay. Okay, our scout teams are starting to come back. Refugees are about to arrive, and the colony is almost set up. And when the colony is set up, we'll go flying over to the colony to see what we can do to make the colony work. With people here, let's solve their food issue. Try to fix the heating? Oh, yeah, that about fixed the heating. Okay. Okay, was the refugees arriving. The refugees gave us more workers. But more workers also means more problems. Okay, that's the housing solved. That's most of the fuel requirements solved. That's most of the material requirements solved. Fixing food. Eating again. Okay, we had more workers. The next would be probably back around to materials. I think that is the colony now set up. No. No, that is not the colony set up. Colony's still got some period of weeks. Those 3,000 people are still apparently en route. What are you doing from a colony? Upload. Yeah, the buried village is running 200. Okay. Christ, 20 Frostland teams, and I got 15. Oh, and 400 prefabs. We sent all our prefabs. Oh dear, we're low on prefabs. There's always more problems. Well, right now, more people is... Well, in addition to being more problems, there's also solutions to those problems. Says we could build another salvaging facility for more prefabs and more goods. We may do when more people arrive. Then when we get heat stamps along with them. Or the result of them eventually. Let's get people housed. And fed. To operate all those things. Okay, so we're going to start needing to contemplate more housing. Because we always need to be contemplating more housing. Let's try to fix the heating requirements a bit more. Okay. Yeah, so it's housing, and it is goods that we are short on. I think another wave of people coming in as well. Yeah, another wave of people.
Please be patient with our teaching hospital residents. Mistakes are part of the learning process.
Okay, so yeah, that's probably too high on housing requirements, so I will need another housing district. Solve the food problem pretty easily. Solve that problem. Cold is becoming going to go back to a notable issue again if I don't solve the housing. We're developing vents, filtration towers, inside the box thinking. Stewart, a Yarn architect, came towards us with an idea. As we all know, the city lacks housing. What if you told I can increase without building additional infrastructure? He proceeds to unfold a scrap of paper, covered in sketches and calculates. I call them crate rooms. What do residents of dense housing blocks really need besides a place to lay down and sleep? With this design, we can provide shelter to way more people. Sure. Sure, that will solve our problems. Is it ethical? Maybe not. But is it solving our problems? Yes. They can barely fit in here. Well, at least you have a warm place to sleep. The extra warmth comes from your neighbors. I don't think the city's happy enough to agree to garden forces. Nope. Not enough turmoil, not enough happiness. I may need to start contemplating what I'm going to do about crime. Fix one problem, you just get a different one. Fuel colony construction completed. So here we go to the fuel colony. So we've got fuel, we got materials, we got fuel, we got materials. Even got a place where we can set up an old way station. Nice. Is by existing providing 100 fuel and 60 food, so it is actively feeding itself. And it will happily burn the fuel it needs to keep itself warm. It's good. Probably need to do all the frost breaking. Can probably get it to do its job without doing very much frost breaking, which is good to know. Oh, I need so many prefabs. I'm low on prefabs. Yeah, so our shortage right now is prefabs. We need more prefabs. And this place needs goods. And I can solve one problem by making the other problem worse. Oh, great. Great job. Okay, well, these guys are at least fed and fed and heated. We need housing. We need goods. And neither of those can we solve right now. So we need to go back to our other city. Let's contemplate a resource transfer. This might seem like a weird thing, but we're going to ship the goods we need to the city, so the city doesn't start to revolt. This also gives us an idea of how bad the goods situation is here. With 180 heat stamps, I can build a place that will make 10 more prefabs, and, well, I think it'll actually do 12 and 50 more prefabs and goods. So that's what we'll hold off to. Back on the world map. Ship more people? We don't need more people right now. Ship a one-off load of food, which we don't need. You're running. Your steam cores, fuel, food, more materials, permanent supply materials, so we will want to export at some point. Okay, well, we got scouts going. We need to solve our industrial requirements right now. The people who don't have houses will have to huddle next to the generator at the fuel outpost. Oh, and that deposit's empty. Okay, well that gives us a source of prefabs. Okay, so our last cheap source of prefabs on the map, we haven't been taking advantage of it, is we can run down here and we can extract from those. So let's start getting the Frostpunk going down there. Okay, the next one will be enough to get the extraction going. Week, is that enough for 7 short?
Steward! Steward!
Steward! Steward!
Steward!
Clear us, Steward!
Okay, we're going to take some heat stamps off of you. Set up the salvaging factory. Okay, have you disassembled yet? No. So that will be enough that we can get this going. You don't take any prefabs, right? Good. Okay, so we can go back to the oil place and start setting up housing. This place... We don't have enough prefabs. It's 200 each. Oosh. We probably want 2 basic ones here. So we get the adjacency off of each. Okay, so back to the main city until we at least have 200. Of course, we have a district that needs repairs. We'll fix that. Making our prefab situation worse. Or it gets better. Extraction district requires some prefabs. Of course it does.
The Icebloods are selling tickets for their bare-knuckle boxing night. A new champion will be crowned.
So there is prefabs I need.
Steward!
What are your promises? Teaching hospital, mandatory crowding, pleasure commune. No, thank you.
Steward! Steward!
We are calling you, Steward.
I don't really want to give you the heat stamps, but I'm going to give you the heat stamps. I suppose what I can do... we are shipping, let's... we got surplus oil there, let's ship the oil back for the moment. Just so we don't burn through the coal stockpile as quickly. Once we get up to... Oh, that's a question. Do I want to invest in extracting these prefabs faster? I think the answer is yes.
Steward.
Faction rally. Contribute more workforce. Contribute more heat stamps. Lead volunteer explorations. Well, the last one's the only one I don't want you to do. Give me more heat stamps. We got enough workers right now. Okay, with you done, we can go ahead and expand you again to increase the yield rate. I'm not getting enough goods, so I will need more goods. So I am debating building another industrial district. build the industrial district. Okay, with you, you're now producing 25 a week, so we're producing a bunch more prefabs. What is our city complaining about? Severe disease, notable squalor, minor crime. Are you telling me that hospital isn't working fast enough? Extremely increased by dense housing blocks. Yeah, it's not enough. Okay, I'm gonna have to build more hospitals. Which means I need more places to put hospitals. Okay. Don't suppose. We go to rule. Do I just gamble on passing this? You know, I should be able to get at least one vote from the undecideds.
The proposed
So we got garden forces.
has been approved.
Taking advantage of the tension here. Past the next one, I can start, when these factions are happy, start requesting more workforce from them. Or not, more guard forces from them. 300 workforce for the teaching hospital. Shouldn't be too hard to get. I can take that from you. Let's try to get disease a little under control. We will need another district sooner rather than later. To put those filters in, if we ever have time to put the filters in. Filters cost due. Where are my filters? Filtration tower. Wonder workforce, 100 heat stamps. Okay. Okay, so we've about met our good requirements. Go to the fuel colony. People are really unhappy due to them being catastrophically cold. Yeah, that's the lack of housing districts. It'll do that. I'm waiting for prefabs. I think we've got the problems at the main city as under control as I can until we get those prefabs to get the housing in the new district. Okay, world is warming up temporarily. Gonna get real bad when the storm arrives, but until then. Requires more stockpiled resources. Okay. Dense housing now increase in tension. That's not good.
Neighbors kindly ask rally attendees to keep all applause to a reasonable volume.
Okay. I think we are at the point where we can build the housing in the fuel colony. Let's get the first batch going. exactly do I want to put it? Yeah, let's do something like that. I'm just gonna hold on for one more week, and we can start building the second one. And that will solve the housing problem. Well, we got an event going on in the main city. What's the complaint in the main city, please?
Steward!
Broken valve. Here, so you've demolished the... I demolished it because the deposit ran out of coal. Demolition was unfortunately necessary. Filtration. What am I missing for filtration? Workforce. Workforce is easy to get. Mountain explored. Another place for steam cores. That's good to know. Food site. Landmark. Looking around to see if there's any 10s that we can send 10 for 15 off to, and there is. Okay, we're in vote situation again. Can I get the steward's militia? Yes, propose. We're off to negotiation table. The heat melting grill, condemn... Don't want to condemn the ice floods. Research pleasure commons. Okay, let's see, can I... Is there any deep deposits left I haven't built on? No. At least not in the main city. Is there out in the colony? Don't think there's supposed to... Oh, there is one out in the colony. That might be a bit hard to do in 40 weeks. Sorry. Otherwise, I would have been on board with doing that. So let's bring this up to propose. Let's bring it to negotiate. Let's go look over the ice bloods. To be fair, this is just Research Pleasure Club. Doesn't necessarily mean build. On the other hand, I think I am more on board. Bring it up again, negotiate. Congrats. More on board with researching Pleasure Commons. Yeah, I will agree to research it. I do not agree necessarily to build one.
Hear ye, hear ye. The votes are in. The measure passes.
I need 100 heat stamps for that, which is not the end of the world.
Steward!
In the meantime,
Steward!
Do you hear us, Steward?
expand my militia, please, so that crime becomes a problem of the past. Notable but stable, notable but stable. We're about to get a filtration up, which should hopefully bring this back down to minor. Okay. That should mostly fix the housing problem here. When we get 150 prefabs, we can do extraction to get more petrol flowing. And more petrol will solve the fuel problem before the fuel runs out. Go one tick, and we can start researching those pleasure commons. We're actively planning on building any. And what resources do we have out here? We have materials. Petrol, more materials. Assume these are pretty deep petrol supplies, hopefully. 4.4 million. 4.4 million. I assume the one I just tapped into is 4.4 million. Yeah. We got a bad event going on at the capital. Back to the capital.
Steward.
Pleasure Commons controversy. I'm going to take the tension hit for the moment. Okay, I need to get Squalor under control. Apparently I need more filtration towers. Which means I need more heat stamps to expand the housing district to build on the filtration tower.
To fear the steward's militia, unless you are an enemy of the steward.
You have no reason. Yeah, well, that's accurate. I'm not out here to kill the citizenry for no good reason. Bad reasons, maybe. Good reasons, I don't have any good reasons at the moment to kill my own citizens. So. Let's get back to the fuel colony. What is the state of the fuel? It is up. It is running. Which means we have a material shortage. We've got fuel to sort of trade for it with. No, not people right now. Would be one way to temporarily solve the housing problem. We start having a housing problem in the capital. For the moment, let's start shipping goods back and forth. So we need 50 materials. There. We have a little bit of a goods surplus, so we can send that back. Stop exporting as much, and we can send more petrol. And attempt to deal with the fuel problem, heating problem in the capital.
Steward.
Steward!
Hero, Steward.
Steward!
Don't mind me supporting both sides of the radical extremes. Based on the time, this is where I should put the cut in for the video. So I hope you've been enjoying this if you're watching this on YouTube, and if you've been watching this on Twitch, I hope you've been enjoying this. I am going to record one more video in this recording session. So if you're watching on YouTube, this is probably the video you want to put your comments on if you want to see them addressed before the next recording session, as the next video will actually come out at the same time I'm going to be doing the next recording session. So I hope you've been enjoying this. Feel free to jump in tomorrow. And if you're watching on Twitch, for the next part, hang around. if for the next recording session, drop in next week, because that'll be about a week from now. So until then, catch you later.